I'm with my savage squad, I'm with my savages. I'm with my savage squad, I'm with my savages. I'm with my savage squad, I'm with my savages. I'm with my savage squad, I'm with my savages. With my savages.
Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy LaSavage here with another NBA 2K video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Sixers and the issues they got going on there. They have Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, two really great, solid players to have on any NBA squad. But these two just don't really mix together. They both play at the rim, and there's not much you could do with the two on the same team. Joel Embiid isn't that happy this season. You could definitely tell that if you've been on IG looking at any sports page. You definitely saw something pop up where you saw Embiid and Simmons were not working, and there's all the issues aside of this with all the coaching staff too. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at this team and seeing what kind of trades we could get for Joel Embiid. I feel like Philly would way rather keep Ben Simmons on the team rather than Joel. That's just what I think. I would rather keep Simmons too instead of Joel. Joel, he is a superstar center, but in this league that is stepping away from centers, I would definitely keep Ben Simmons in this situation. But he's a great defender in a team against the Bucks where you're going to need him in a playoff series against Giannis. You're going to need somebody like Joel. But right now we are sitting at a 15-32 record. But we know in real life something like that wouldn't happen with the Sixers. They are not as good as how they are in the simulation. And we are playing my team, the Celtics, right here in the first round. And we somehow get away with a 7-game series win against them. Now we're playing the Bucks. To see just the presence of Joel Embiid in the paint will be missed. If I am going to probably trade Joel away. And I will need, I don't know if I'm going to trade him for another center, because we do have Al Horford on this team, and I probably will use up his max contract, give him some playing time, which something Philly isn't doing this year. They have Horford on a max contract off the bench, so I'm going to probably look to trade Joel for some superstar type guard, and we'll just see what happens from there. But before we trade away Joel, something Philly fans, if you guys are watching, I know you guys want to see that happen. Brett Brown just got fired, and I'm just going for this great coach. He's A+ everything with an A potential, so we'll go ahead and sign him up. And now we're going to look at some offers for Joel. So Wendell Carter, Lauri Markkanen, some good couple stretch bigs, but I don't want that. I want a superstar guard. Rudy, Nikolai, DeMontis, just big man I don't want. We have Al Horford that could play center, his natural center position. Or we could get Shea and Steven Adams as well. D'Lo really wouldn't work. Somebody like Klay Thompson would be perfect, but then Joel on Golden State would just be OP. So I don't want to make the Warriors any better. Or we could ship away Joel to the Wizards, where Joel can just go and rot in Washington. We don't really have to worry about Washington. They're not going to make too much noise in the East. And then we get somebody like Bradley Beal, an absolute bucket, and somebody that could drop 50 any night on this team for sure. If he's doing that in Washington, definitely his shots are going to go down, so he might not be averaging the 30 like he is right now, but he still definitely is that superstar type player that can really affect this team. So I don't think I'm going to do Klay, because that's just going to make the Warriors too good. So I'm definitely going to get somebody like Bradley Beal, who's more than just a spot-up shooter like Klay. He can also create his own shot. So welcome to the team, Bradley Beal. And when I put Horford to his center, that makes him a 79 overall. And I do not want that. Horford definitely, he is aging, so I want to keep that overall as high as I can. So I'm probably just going to keep him at the power forward, move to Tobias to the power forward. He goes down one, so I'm just going to keep him at the small forward. And then Richardson, he's going to be playing small forward for us this year, and I'm going to keep him at that position. He stays at the same overall. So now in free agency, there's really not much that we need. I did have to trade away Matisse to get Bradley Beal, so we do maybe need a couple backup guards. Let's sign up Rondo for our backup point guard. Philly, they tend to just keep getting one-year players for their bench, so there's just a couple pieces I got to sign for this squad, and then we should be pretty set. Jamal Crawford, he's a really good veteran that could bring that veteran presence to this team, so we'll sign him up to a deal. So we got our bench backcourt all signed up. Maybe one more forward, Dario Saric, if you want to come back to Philly. So we got all three of those guys. Let's go ahead and sign these guys up, and from there I'll just look at a couple more moves I have to make. So this is what the lineup is looking like for the 2020-2021 NBA season. We got Ben Simmons at the point guard, Beal at shooting guard, Jay Rich, Tobias Horford at center. And the bench is just a couple good high 70s, one low 70 is that center. Philly had a bunch of second round picks this offseason, so I'm going to keep this center around. I didn't have enough cap room to sign any more really solid bench pieces. All of our money's going towards Tobias, Horford, Simmons, and now Beal, who's on a Supermax contract. So our starting lineup is just absolutely draining this team away. We have no more cap room to sign any other good bench pieces. Going to give a couple more minutes to Horford, and I think that's looking pretty good how things are sitting right now. Obviously, I would upgrade the backup center. Hope to sign somebody like maybe a Dwight Howard, but I don't know how he'd work with this team. I guess we do have Thomas Bryant. My bad. We do have Thomas Bryant. He's going to be our sixth man. And so we don't need a backup center. Maybe a backup power forward for sure would have been good to have on this team. Dario Saric would have been a great fit. Wish I could have got him. But that's how the team's going to look like for this year. I'm going to go ahead and simulate the season, and I'll get back to you guys once this is done. So we're already a couple games over the amount of wins we had last season, and we're going to finish the year off with 58 wins. Definitely a step up from last year. I think this team was just way more faster paced. Simmons was able to get at the rim without EMBIID there. He was able to get a couple more shots, and then you have somebody like Bradley Beal who can put up the amount of points Joel did and still be able to put up more and just have a... I just feel like Beal is such a better fit than Joel Embiid for this team. He spaces out the floor way more, and Simmons has way more shooters around him because Horford, he can kind of stretch the floor at that center position, and then we're just able to play Tobias and Jay Rich on the squad as well. So before I simulate the playoffs, we're going to take a look at the player stats. Obviously, Beal is probably the leading scorer of the team. Hopefully, Simmons took a step up this year, averaging around 20. And close enough. He averaged 18. Beal, he did average 29 last year, and this year only averaged 24, but that's obvious, something that's going to happen when you have a guy owning his own team, coming to a team where his shots are going to be cut down, and he's on a team with another potential superstar in Ben Simmons. Simmons did go up to a 92 this year. I think he started off as a 88, which is pretty good to see. And then Tobias, he did his part in the team, averaging 17. That's really good coming from him. Richardson, that's his average, I think, for the past couple seasons, so that's good enough. That's what we expect out of him. And Horford is not in sight yet, so that's pretty sad. We got Frank coming off the bench, averaging 9 points. Milton, still no Horford. Horford, 8 points per game. I mean, he is 34 years old, going on 35. I mean, if I was doing another year, he'd definitely be gone. We'd put that money elsewhere. It doesn't really make sense to me why Philly would have signed him in the first place for that type of money. And there's Rondo at 2.4 points. I was not expecting that. That's huge drop off with Rondo. And so let's actually take a look at Joel too. So I think he was averaging in Philly last season around 24, 25 a game, and he dropped down to just around 21 and 13. So his numbers down a lot with playing with John Wall. I don't know who else is getting shots on that team that's taken away from Joel. But again, new squad, new system. He's got to adapt to it. His first year on the team, 20 points. And they did not make the playoffs. And we are the 3 seed this year at 58 wins, playing against the 6 seed Charlotte Hornets. This should be a sweep, if not 5 games. We're up 1-0, 1-1. Again, we're probably playing the Bucks next round. That's where it's really going to hurt us without Joel Embiid. It's just the presence of Embiid in the paint is just huge for this team. That's why we were able to get to the finals last year. But look at that. Bradley Beal is just somebody that can, I said that's a walking bucket. He can go for 50 any night if you give him the right amount of shots. And then instead of the Wizards players getting 8 points behind him, we got all these guys with 10 plus. Simmons, I would expect a couple more shots out of him, way more than 8 shots. That's pretty bad. But he did get a near triple-double. And Bradley Beal, again, walking bucket. But this round, I don't think we're gonna play too good against the Bucks without Joel Embiid in the paint. It's not going to look too good, and that's it for us. So the Bucks beat us in 5, and the rest is history. So we got Beal out, put up 39 for us at our elimination game, and there's Giannis just absolutely killing us with no Embiid, no defense. That's Horford. He is a pretty good defender, but definitely nothing like Joel. And the Bucks go on to beat the Celtics, and they're playing the Trailblazers somehow in the finals, but they sweep them. That's going to do it for this rebuild, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, have any things you want to say about the Sixers, please leave them in the comment section down below. But that's going to do it for me. It's been your boy LaSavage. I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.